absolutely drenched here at St James's Park. Heavens opened, delivered 3 points. Newcastle United, so can't complain too much. Apologies if it's all windy, it's blustering and really wet and windy. It's not been a nice day on Tyneside, but everyone walks away from this place a little bit happier after the 3 points. You see Newcastle players just doing their warm downs out there on the pitch. Probably going to keep this live reasonably short and sweet with plenty of work to do, and I'd quite like to go for a pint or two tonight. And we've got the big analysis video coming up from myself, Jordan Cronin and Dominic Skur as well. First comment, Craig Foggin, thanks for your comment, mate. Get in, Liam. No negativity now. Yes, finally we can actually be happy. Different plan from Newcastle United today, very evident, and it's made for a very positive me on this video. Look, I don't think it was perfect. I don't think it was the perfect performance. I think Newcastle United, I think Wolves probably had most of the ball in that first half in particular. The Newcastle United caught them on the break, which won them the game. Neto going off made a big difference at half time. They lost a lot of their potential quality in that final third, but it was the clear tweak in approach that really was the big positive today. Never mind the win and the 3 points, and Isak getting back on the score sheet, and Livramento's run flourish right at the end. I was so happy when I watched the replay that it was actually his little touch that put the ball in the net, because I thought after all that effort, if it had been a defender, it would have been a disaster for the lad. But fantastic stuff, and worthy of winning any game, that one. But the tweak itself, Sky Sports own Pete Graves, what do you think of that one?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm alright, mate. You?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I thought you always take it 3-0, don't you?
I do. I thought it was great. I'm just talking about the change of approach. I thought in this.
It was
first
tactical switch, wasn't it?
Tighter.
Yeah, and they let Wolves come onto them as well, and sort of we played them on the break.
Yeah.
And it worked out. And to be here for Tino's goal, brilliant goal.
Oh, I was so happy. I was just saying, I seen the replay.
Yeah.
And he put it in. I was like, I'm relieved after that run. He deserved it.
Great run, and he actually played really well when he came on. The subs made an impact at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, great stuff. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers for that one.
Man.
See ya. A little cameo for the Geordie Journos. Pete Graves jumping on Sky Sports Own. Right, where was I? Changing approach. Newcastle United sat in a bit, which made a big difference, and it was obvious that you could see what they were trying to do. They were much more compact in that first half, which made a big difference. Didn't allow the opposition to play through them, allowed Wolves to have a lot of the ball, almost in some respects took a little bit of an away day approach in that first half, and once you worked it out, it was quite impressive actually, because I've been a big critic of Eddie Howe not tweaking and changing things, and I thought there was a big tweak today, so I think you can take a fair bit of credit for that. Obviously the players had to put in the performance, and I thought they did. I thought Bruno was excellent in that second half. Livramento made a big difference when he came on. Fingers crossed Kieran Trippier is alright. Isak still looks rusty as hell. Joe Willock makes, and he scored, which was good, but Joe Willock makes a big difference with his legs in that midfield, really did. Jacob Murphy had a much better game. I mean, he couldn't have got much worse than the game at Blackburn that he had, but he was much better there in that, particularly in that first half. Some lovely balls. Just looking at your comments there, I've just seen a bit of a silly one come through, but we'll come on to the comments in a minute. I'll run through my players. I've touched upon a few there. I thought Martin Dubravka, look, when he was called upon today, really made some important stops and important saves, and that's what they needed from him. So I think he would come out of that one probably somewhere in the region of at least a 7 out of 10. Because I thought he was very good. Probably pushing towards, should we do a 7.5 out of 10? We'll go for that. Trippier I thought was decent. He'd be a 7 out of 10 for me. Hopefully the injury's all right. Livramento coming on for him. Let's give him an 8 out of 10 for that unbelievable goal. You'll not see many better runs in the Premier League than that. And a finish, and I think it might be, I'm not sure. I was just asking the lads, nobody had an answer. Is it his first Premier League goal? Can't wait to get off the mark if it is. Rest of the defence, I thought Fabian Schär was excellent. Really good with the ball. Almost a couple of stray balls in the first half, but he was really good with the ball mostly, and really aggressive in his defending in that second period when they needed it. Still looks tentative in some respects, but I was really pleased for him and for Dubravka in particular as well, and the rest of the back four, to get a clean sheet and just bring that little bit of confidence back in their performance, back in what they do. But I thought they had a lot more protection. I thought it was a much better setup for Newcastle United today, all round. Left back Dan Burn got round past once, I would say, but I thought Newcastle's more compact setup was beneficial to him, and he got forward really well today. So you never fault his effort. So Fabian Schär, I'll give it an 8. Dan Burn, I'll give it a 7. Of course, as that wind gets up, my apologies if that's killing the sound quality on this one. Really windy here at James Park. Into the midfield, right over St. Bruno. Absolutely. When given in these kind of circumstances, when given the license to run games, he really does. He really gets his foot on the ball and makes a big difference. With and without, I thought his effort levels were quality. I don't think that first goal happens without his lung bust and run from midfield to give options. So I thought it was quality. Right, who else we got? Sean Longstaff drifted in and out in the first half, but I thought he came in with much more in the second period. Bruno for me was an 8 again today. Longstaff maybe a 6. Joe Willock made a big difference in the midfield. Just his legs really tired after about 50 odd minutes. So he was a bit ineffectual in the second half largely. Scored. For him, I'll give him like a 7.5 out of 10. Into the forward line, I thought Anthony Gordon was probably about a 7.5 out of 10. I think probably a 6.5 out of 10, even though he got the goal. Was that hard? Yeah. And on the right hand side, I thought Murphy was probably around about a 7. I thought he was decent today. Barnes coming off the bench, not much of an impact. Got the ball a lot, didn't do a lot with it. Gave a couple of give and goes. Difficult to give him a grade. Almiron again involved, but difficult to give a mark to. And then probably who else we're talking? That was about it, wasn't it? Of course, Elliot Anderson came on in added time, which was nice to see him get back on the pitch again. So yeah, I think this, to me, summing the whole thing up, felt much more, agree, disagree, come in the comments, let me know your thoughts. This one felt very much like Eddie Howe's team Mark 1, when Newcastle weren't great and he made them a bit more difficult to beat, and a team needs to, that first season from January onwards, I would say, when they became a little bit more hard to beat, went on a really good run, but seemed to catch teams without their speed and power on the break. It was a little bit more like that today rather than anything that we've seen last season, because it was nowhere near that kind of fluency. But it was definitely more a bit like Eddie Howe's Newcastle Mark 1, I would say. Agree? Disagree? Let me know. Jump in the comments. I'm not going to stay on here too long. Proper shivering. What we'll do is we'll jump in the comments. Apologies if you see my fat fingers jumping all over these comments, but I'll come in, I'll see what you guys have had to say. And again, apologies for the wind. Great fogging, get in, Liam, no negativity now, I certainly do agree. Geordie25, well, the Geordie boys are back at last, scored an outstanding performance. Gary Lee, definitely some positives to take from this today, yep. How was he set up? Well, as I mentioned there, Botman good today. Yeah, I thought he was really good when he come on. He really adds an attacking. He's much better on the right than he is on the left. He gives a real attacking option, and those runs, those incredible speed that he's got with the ball. It's almost quicker with the ball than he is without the ball. Give a real different dimension and a totally different point of attack to what anything you get from Trippier. Isak was a quiet one. Probably wasn't at his best, but it's good to see him get a bit more minutes in under his belt, get another goal to his name, and also get a little bit of confidence back, which is one thing that Eddie Howe said was lacking in terms of the injury. Joy Tune for Life brought him back to his best. I wouldn't say back to his best, but it was better. It was good to see him get a clean sheet. No news, Mark Fox, no news on Q Trippier's injury yet. We'll be getting that in the Eddie Howe press conference. I'm sure we'll discuss it in the longer form video that I do with Jordan and Dom a bit later on. Someone's having a big scream there in the empty stadium. Gary Lee, think we looked shaky before we got the first goal, and the lads seemed to grow in confidence. I've got to say, like, it was maybe that first 10 to 15 minutes, I would say there was a little bit of concern. Maybe a little bit, was it shaky? I wouldn't say shaky, but it was definitely not Newcastle United at their fluent best. But things improved and got better. Just the route here, as you can see. Corners, Amanda Stavely and Ducey. Filtering their way back up to the director's box there. Always little cameos. Owners, Pete Graves, Alan Pardew in Paris. You always get it on the Geordie Journals live. Right, back in the comments. Geordie 2 for Life, Pete looks smart for a change. Pete always looks smart. Lord Kananga? Oh, I'm not going to go down this route with these silly names again. Poor performance, how out? Yeah, whatever. Dan Ewan, brilliant result today. Refreshing to see us adapt our way of playing. Willock has been a huge miss and Brilliance has come back. Yeah, I think that was probably one of the big, huge bonuses from today is that that hour for Joe Willock at top level for an hour. Just gives you an extra legs, extra runner. Even some of the recoveries in the first half to get back and cover and help down burnout. He's just got that extra couple of yards of pace, them long legs, and once he stretches them out, he can get back. He's not really a defensive-minded player, but having those legs in that midfield is massive. It makes a huge difference. It can't be understated because it's what they've really missed. Yeah, here he goes again. It's all not made. Sad history. Things getting back to balance. Can't disagree with you there. Graham Towler, house side of Martin. I think there's a few dafties in these comments potentially. I'm seeing a few names popping up here. Dean Shaw, 3 points. Needed 3 points from a little hard watch. It wasn't the best of watches at times. Thanks for your comments, mate. We need more creativity in the middle of the park. I need to go and see it. Yeah, probably do actually, for a lot more than that, probably. Graham Towler, Rich Choblin, Willock, the legs in midfield been missed. I think everyone's echoing you there. Craig Foggin, Grow. What did you say? Grow, grab a coffee, then you look cool. Can't hear you. Can you hear us now? Is it this? Tell us, is it this way? Is it with? Am I better facing towards the Gallagher for this noise, or am I better facing towards the lasers? Stand at the top. I'll tell you what, that's a great idea. I'll just creep up here. And see if I can just make an improvement on it. Hopefully you shouldn't be able to hear the wind in here. Right, you haven't got as good a view, but I am. Spin round, that's a bit better, isn't it? It's not good in either direction, just like there's no Graham. Yeah, it's the challenging weather, particularly when you're selfie sticking on a phone without any mics. It's not the easiest. Maybe when we do the end of year accounts at the Geordie Journals, we might invest in a few mics. Probably best for it. Just be waiting to see how this thing goes, though. Just be waiting to see how this thing goes in regards. Do you guys like it? Are you going to follow it? Or we're new to this game. Not the YouTube thing. Of course, all three of us have been on different YouTube channels elsewhere, but we're new to the game ourselves, and it was just a case of let's give it a try and see what you guys think. And most of the time, the feedback's been positive, so we'll keep this sort of thing coming. You guys seem to like the lives as well, straight after games, which is a really positive thing. I don't mind jumping on for 10-15 minutes to do them and answer your questions. So yeah, here we are. Right, Johnny Ola, you're running around in circles doing an arm impersonation. Yeah, I'm all over the shop today, mate. That's what 3 points does to you. Right. Don, nice to see a clean sheet, really positive, because there's been so much criticism in that regard. I mean, they had their chances, and Dubravka made a couple of saves in that second half. Like now in the first half, they had loads of the ball. Probably that Totti header was the only one. Second half, Dubravka made a couple of saves. But I'll be honest, the feeling, I never really 100% felt like they were going to get back in the game. They had that period from, just after the hour, probably late 60s into the 70s where you thought if they score now, this could get a bit nervy, but the goal didn't come, and yeah, Newcastle never, like I say, I think the 3 points felt quite secure, and it was won largely in that. Now that's good to hear. Gary D, thanks for your comment, mate. Great result. Bruno, wow, and a clean sheet. Yeah, I was really impressed with Bruno. Just really suits him these home games when, you know, things get a little bit dicey at times. He's good at just getting on the ball and winning his tackles and chasing back and flicking the ball over people's heads and winning free kicks and getting his body in clever positions. Suits him down the ground. Rich job was the atmosphere like today. Just I'll be honest, it was just like a normal home game, to be honest. It wasn't an outstanding atmosphere. I wouldn't say it was a poor atmosphere. I always find home atmospheres can be a touch dull, and that's not a criticism of Newcastle United, that's just general Premier League. It's not raucous, but I often find I don't find that as a criticism of fan bases. I think the players have got to give a little bit, the fans have got to give a little bit, and I think it kind of goes in hand, and sometimes you get that perfect formula whereby sometimes it's the weather's right, the game's right, the atmosphere's right, the opposition's right, where you get these really, really good atmospheres, but they're rare, and they've always been rare. They're not something that happens on a continuous basis. I can go back to I was a season ticket holder from the year 2000, the extension, because I was on the waiting list previous to that, and I was a season ticket holder for around 10 years. Around that time, before I decided to go into the industry, about 12. I was season ticket 12 years, and then I went in the industry. And it wasn't always, even when we're doing well or whatever, there wasn't always an amazing atmosphere. So I do find it, people get a bit too carried away, in my opinion, on atmospheres at times, and a bit too critical when it's unneeded. It's not really anything new that sometimes atmospheres don't build. Sometimes it isn't like raucous when they've won today, because it was routine in some ways. So it doesn't. I think it's got to be the perfect mix for atmospheres, and it happens. And I still think Newcastle United here at St James's Park, there's very few places can create the kind of atmosphere that can be created here. But it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen. It never has really. Graham Tallow, if they're reaching the end of the storm, fingers crossed. Yeah, hopefully we can keep improving and keep picking up the odd result like this, and then it'll be all right. Johnny, all our first 15 minutes I was worried. The injuries helped us. Yeah, I agree with that. John Mitchison played Livermore on that side now. It's hard when Kevin Trippier's, the main man, and he's the skipper of the team, so it's a difficult one, but I do believe he's better on that side. JC, Bruno's no-look ball over the top was filthy. Funny Miggy put away. That was incredible. It was really difficult to see at the time, but he's done the flip through and over the top and then done the look away. It was just the type of thing there's not many players do that kind of stuff, and Bruno is the best in the business. Graham Towler, do you think we need Europe to keep Joe Linton and Bruno? I don't think we need Europe to keep Joe Linton, and I don't think Bruno leaves in the summer. I think there's a limited number of sides who can afford Bruno Guimaraes. I don't think he wants to go. And I think of those limited sides, the one to watch for me would be PSG. And I don't think that's a clear-cut decision as to whether he would go there, but I think that's the one to watch, given how much money they're freeing up in their budget with getting Kylian Mbappe off the books. I think they're probably going to be one of the biggest spenders in Europe this summer, and that's possibly one to watch. Bearded Toon fan, that's more like it, Liam. Brilliant, more options off the bench. All 5 changes are good now, and we have others to come on. Yeah, I agree. It's starting to feel a bit stronger. Those days of get one back, 2 drop out aren't happening now, and I just maybe feel like Newcastle haven't won here since mid-December. The Fulham game against 10 men, they've went and beat 11 men. The team were above them in the league, who were putting pressure on, or in that little mini league as well, to get the sort of the Europa and Conference League places, and I think there's be a lot of positivity to take from that. Right guys, I'm not going to stay on too much longer because I've got some work to do. Terry Hogg, still not picking Miley's runs. Yes, and whoever this dafty is, get off my feed. Right, that's the live done. Thanks for all your comments, really appreciate it. We had some sound problems, but we'll gloss over those and we'll be better. We'll be better when we come along for a full positive analysis from myself, Jordan Cronin and Dominic Skir when they come back from dealing with Eddie Howe. I'm going in to get a coffee, as was earlier suggested, and to warm me bones because I'm freezing and I got absolutely soaked. I went to watch the under 18s at Benton today, got absolutely bucketed on, then dried off in the car and then came to St James's Park to get bucketed on, not once but twice again, as the wind picks up again. So that's probably my cue. Right, thank you so much for all your comments, thanks for all your support, really appreciate speaking with you guys on this live. If you like what we do and you're not already, subscribe, make sure you comment, we love it all, and give it a like and share so other people can see this kind of thing, other people you think might be interested in some Newcastle United chat, which is what you get from 3 honest, hard-working journalists who are all black and white daft as well. Right, like, comment, share, subscribe for all your Geordie journos content.